Ladies and gentlemen, this is more on Trump's lap boy right here, Ron DeSantis. And many are very upset with this man. They are very upset. He has a lot of loyalty to Trump, and that probably explains why his state has fallen apart. He's listening to Trump. So, this came out in the Salon Rise and Fall of Mini Trump, with Florida a global epicenter. Ron DeSantis can shut up now. I love that title. Ah, woo, what a title. So, this is July 27th, 2020. It was a little startling to hear Trump announce that he would throw out the first ball at the New York Yankee game next month, but he backed out of that. Many of us already know that. And he's pretty much squeezed out Anthony Fauci. And, he's now doing his press conferences on his own and got caught lying a couple of times, which we are all expecting. So Trump was out and about in Florida playing golf and spent most of Sunday retweeting images of his paramilitary raid on Portland. And, he's taken pure joy at these federal agents attacking the protesters, which I think is very inappropriate. So, Ron DeSantis here, you may know, he's being sued, especially by teachers and parents that don't want schools reopened. So, his state is now probably the worst on the planet. On the planet. It's not just an epicenter here in the US, it's a global epicenter right now. I mean, that's pretty damn bad. Meanwhile, COVID-19 continues to ravage the nation, and no matter how hard new campaign manager Bill Steppen and the rest of the team try to get him to take it seriously, Trump simply is unable to do it. He reluctantly had to cancel his convention extravaganza in Jacksonville, which had been moved to Charlotte at his insistence, mainly because even Republican diehards didn't want to travel into the epicenter of America's massive surge in cases. Wow. Wow. The news had hit Ron DeSantis, about how bad his numbers are, especially hard. He had lobbied hard for the convention when Trump had his temper tantrum last month over North Carolina's refusal to guarantee that his fans would be able to attend speeches in the indoor event center without wearing masks and practicing social distancing. DeSantis was more than happy to guarantee the Trumpers a good time without the unpleasant COVID guidelines. So he was going to let them have their convention while this big epicenter is going on. And they can just come there and do whatever they want. If they didn't want to wear a mask, don't wear one. Just come and have a good time. Wow. But even then, the clock was ticking on Florida's exploding caseload. If you want to see the perfect realization of Trump administration pandemic policy, look at Florida. It is certainly true that the virus has surged in a number of other states, including Texas, Arizona, and California. The first two, like Florida, were driven to open too rapidly by Republican governors, while California's surge seemed to be linked to general overconfidence. People failed to observe safe guidelines once the lockdown orders were lifted. Florida isn't alone in its surge, and it won't be the last state to experience one. Absolutely not. The fall is going to bring many states that will be exactly where Florida is. But only in Florida did the governor appear on TV and have a full blown Trumpian wine fest in May because he wasn't getting enough credit for keeping cases lower in Florida than New York. Woo, now he's eating those words. DeSantis spoke too soon and opened his state much too fast. Florida is now the one of the global epicenters of the virus, and it is not getting better anytime soon. Every day since July 10th, the state has averaged more than 10,000 new cases per day. According to the New York Times, the state has had 423,800 cases and 5,854 deaths from the virus so far. DeSantis bears the brunt of the blame for all of this. His main concern from the beginning was to reopen for business at all costs, in the apparent conviction that people would forget about the virus as soon as they go back to the malls. How can you forget about a virus if it's rampant in the country? Oh man. Wow. And the results are there for all to see. Throughout the crisis, he had been belligerent, stubborn, unsympathetic, cavalier, and self centered. He issues orders but refused to offer state support to make them work. He is, in short, exactly like Trump. The Washington Post published an in-depth look at DeSantis' administration response to the pandemic, and it is devastating. Just as Trump refuses to listen to experts, DeSantis shove aside his scientists and stop public health briefings altogether. He refutes the models if they don't suit his purpose and spin the data to sound better than it is. Some of the state's top experts have left in the middle of the crisis. When DeSantis insisted on reopening Florida's economy early, Trump cheered him on. In fact, the Post report that Trump gleefully told advisors that Florida's supposed success gave other states the validation to open prematurely as well. DeSantis returned the favor back by backing Trump in all the way, refusing to enact measures like mask wearing. And, so he was just lapping on Trump's ass. That's all. The Post reports that the Trump administration official regularly send reports and clips of DeSantis bragging about Florida not having cases early in the outbreak, to argue that many states were overreacting and at times the seasonal heat would cure the virus. Yep, they were harping on that big time. Like his hero and mentor, DeSantis can't find time to talk to the experts, but does have time to talk to Fox News and Rush Limbaugh, which he has done numerous times as the virus has exploded in his state. DeSantis was the backbench congressman who won in 2018, and I really think he cheated. I don't really believe he won the election. That's just my opinion. Gubernatorial election largely because Trump's endorsement, and he had been a loyal henchman from the beginning. It was all assumed all along that he helped deliver Florida to Trump his November, and that his future might well include an address on Pennsylvania Avenue. Yes, he is that ambitious. Come on, y'all. Who is going to vote for Ron DeSantis for president? Oh, let me move on. But lashing himself to the Trump train was a risky move from the onset, and it doesn't look like it's paying off. The latest Quinnipiac poll has Biden leading by 13 points in the Sunshine State, 51% to 38%. DeSantis isn't doing any better. In April, 50% of Florida voters approve of his handling of the pandemic. That's now down by 38%. Woo, that's a hell of a drop. the same number who backed Trump's reelection. Florida elected a mini Trump in 2018 and got a Trump mega disaster in 2020. Now the whole country is paying the price. Yeah, I spoke to my uncle down there. There's a lot of people not happy with this governor. They are not happy. They feel he is doing a very poor job leading Florida. He did not take things seriously from the beginning, and they're all paying the price for it now. There are a lot of people down in Florida that are sick. And this governor has been no help whatsoever. But y'all, please tell me what you think. I think if Trump falls, you can best believe all of these Republican governors that were riding high about opening states, and now their states have high numbers of COVID, they can wave goodbye to their office. Seriously. I think Trump, if the possibility that he loses, you're going to see a lot of these Republican governors going as well. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.